Imagine taking a garden hose. Now turn the water pressure up, higher and higher. At first, nothing seems to happen, but hour after hour, day after day, that relentless force begins to create tiny, invisible cracks. Now imagine those pipes are your blood vessels. High blood pressure doesn't usually hurt. You won't feel it damaging your arteries. You won't hear your heart struggling to keep up. You won't notice your kidneys slowly failing or your brain becoming more vulnerable to a stroke. That's why it's earned the chilling nickname, the silent killer. Today, we're shrinking down and traveling inside the human body to witness what high blood pressure really does, cell by cell and organ by organ. First, what even is blood pressure? With every single beat, your heart pushes blood through a staggering 60,000 miles of blood vessels. Blood pressure is simply the force of that moving blood pushing against the artery walls. A healthy amount of pressure is absolutely essential. Without it, the oxygen and nutrients carried by your blood couldn't reach your vital organs. But when that pressure stays too high for months or years, every single heartbeat transforms from a life-giving pulse into a tiny mechanical injury. Think of it like repeatedly bending a paperclip. One bend doesn't matter, but thousands upon thousands of bends will eventually weaken the metal until it breaks. Your arteries are experiencing that same relentless, continuous wear and tear 24 hours a day. Let's zoom in and begin our journey inside an artery wall. The innermost lining is a delicate, single-cell thick layer called the endothelium. This layer isn't just a simple barrier, it's a dynamic control center. It manages blood flow, it controls inflammation, and it regulates clotting. Healthy endothelial cells release a molecule called nitric oxide, which acts as a signal for the blood vessels to relax and widen, allowing blood to flow freely. But under the constant strain of high blood pressure, these delicate cells start to sustain microscopic injuries. They become damaged and dysfunctional. The production of that crucial nitric oxide decreases, meaning your blood vessels don't relax as easily. Instead of relaxation, you get inflammation. These tiny new cracks in the arterial wall are an open invitation for trouble. LDL cholesterol, the bad kind, can now slip beneath that damaged lining. Your body's immune cells rush in to clean up the mess, but this process triggers a cascade that slowly, silently begins to form plaques within the artery wall. The damage today becomes the dangerous plaque of tomorrow. From the arteries, let's travel to the heart. Imagine trying to inflate a stiff, narrow balloon while someone is squeezing the opening shut. You'd have to blow much, much farther. That's exactly what your heart experiences when blood pressure stays high. The left ventricle, the heart's main pumping chamber, has to generate significantly more force to push blood out into those resistant arteries. To cope with this massive workload, the heart muscle does what any muscle does under strain. It gets bigger. The wall of the left ventricle becomes thicker. This is a condition called left ventricular hypertrophy. Now, a bigger muscle might sound stronger, but in this case, it's actually becoming less efficient. This thicker muscle demands more oxygen, which the body may struggle to supply. It also becomes stiffer, which makes it harder for the chamber to relax and fill properly between beats. Eventually, the heart can weaken and struggle to pump normally, increasing the risk for heart failure. A bigger heart is not always a healthier heart. Now let's follow the blood flow up to the brain. Your brain is incredibly dependent on a constant, steady supply of oxygen-rich blood. High blood pressure wages a war on the arteries that feed the brain. It can cause small, delicate vessels to weaken and balloon out. It can cause those larger arteries to fill with the plaque we saw forming earlier. If a piece of that plaque breaks off and forms a clot that blocks blood flow, an ischemic stroke occurs, starving a part of the brain of oxygen. If one of those weakened vessels finally ruptures, a hemorrhagic stroke can happen, causing bleeding in the brain. But even before a major event like a stroke, the damage is accumulating. Long-term high blood pressure is linked to those tiny, silent injuries in the brain's small vessels, which are now understood to contribute to problems with memory and thinking over time. Our next stop is inside the kidneys. Every single day, these remarkable organs filter about 180 liters of fluid, cleaning your blood using millions of tiny microscopic filtering units. As you can imagine, those tiny filters are extremely sensitive to pressure. Constant high pressure acts like a scouring pad, scarring these delicate structures. Over time, they lose their ability to efficiently remove waste and excess fluid from your body. This is a primary reason why high blood pressure is a leading cause of chronic kidney disease. And finally, even your eyes aren't safe. The tiny blood vessels inside your retina, the light-sensitive tissue that allows you to see, are just as vulnerable. High blood pressure can damage these vessels, causing them to narrow or even bleed. Left untreated, this damage can gradually and permanently affect your vision. This journey sounds grim, but here is the most important part of our story: the good news. Much of this silent damage can be prevented, delayed, or managed. The power is largely in your hands. It all starts with knowing your numbers. High blood pressure gives almost no warning signs, so the only way to know your status is to measure it. You can do this easily at home. The key is to use a validated, automatic, cuff-style monitor that goes on your upper arm. Wrist and finger monitors are less reliable. For an accurate picture, measure your pressure at the same time each day after sitting quietly for 5 minutes with your feet on the floor and your arms supported at heart level. If you have a family history of high blood pressure, being vigilant about knowing your numbers is even more critical. Next, look at your plate. Many of us consume far too much sodium, mostly hidden in packaged and restaurant foods. Reading labels and cooking at home can make a huge difference. At the same time, increase your intake of potassium-rich foods like bananas, beans, spinach, and avocados, which help your body balance out sodium. Patterns like the DASH and Mediterranean diets, which focus on whole foods, are proven to help. Get moving. Aim for at least 150 minutes of moderate activity, like a brisk walk, each week. This, combined with a healthy diet, can help you maintain a healthy weight. Even a modest amount of weight loss can have a major positive impact on your blood pressure. And don't forget the rest of your lifestyle. Prioritize good sleep, as conditions like sleep apnea can drive up pressure. Limit alcohol, and if you smoke, quitting is the single best thing you can do. Smoking damages blood vessels instantly. Finally, find healthy ways to manage chronic stress. If your doctor does prescribe medication, take it consistently. It is one of the most effective tools we have to protect your body from the damage we've just witnessed. So, what really happens during high blood pressure? Your arteries are slowly injured. Your heart is forced to work harder with every single beat. Your brain becomes more vulnerable, your kidneys lose their filtering power, and your eyes can suffer damage. And the most dangerous part of all, you may feel completely fine while it's all happening. That's why checking your blood pressure is one of the simplest and most important things you can do for your long-term health. The small, conscious changes you make today can protect your heart, your brain, your kidneys, and your future. Because when it comes to blood pressure, the damage may be silent, but your prevention doesn't have to be.